Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator, welcome.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
I know the great state of Tennessee has had its share of flooding after Hurricane Helene. You are a mother, a grandmother, a faithful person. What is your reaction to what we've seen over the weekend in Central Texas?
I think everybody their hearts break. And, you know, Mike, we really do wrap our hearts and prayers around the people in Kerrville and around all these families and the loss of life and the trauma that the survivors have experienced. These children are going to need help and assistance in dealing with this for years to come. And of course, grateful for all the first responders. And it shows you how very important those local and state responders are, because they're the first ones on the ground. And we're just grateful for them, but we continue to pray for them as they work through this situation. It will be a long road to recovery, as we have seen in Upper East Tennessee, because you do have rescue and then the recovery, as Congressman Roy was speaking about. But then you get into the cleanup and the removal of all the debris, and then you finally are able to start to rebuild those areas that have been damaged, those lives that have been so severely impacted, and began to move forward. And it does take a lot of work, and it does take prayers to work through this situation.
Amen. Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro was asked a political question about the flooding. Let's play it and I'll get you to react.
But when you have flash flooding, there's a risk that you won't have the personnel to do that analysis, do the predictions in the best way, and it could lead to tragedy. So I don't want to sit here and say conclusively that that was the case, but I do think that it should be investigated, and not having enough personnel is never helpful.
Do you have concerns about National Weather Service staffing?
Those are issues that will be addressed by DHS and NOAA and other components as they move forward. Now is not the day for that type of conversation. I would encourage the congressman to be wrapping his arms and his heart and his prayers around these families and to stand with them at this point.
Let's talk about your day job. You were at the White House for the signing of the big, beautiful bill. What was it like being there? And what do you say about Congress getting it done by the president's 4th of July deadline?
President Trump has shown incredible leadership, and having a decisive, intentional leader has made such a difference in the way Washington works. It is the largest tax cut in American history. Tennessee families are going to see a $2,600 savings every year, and there's $1.6 trillion in savings in the bill, and over a $508 billion reduction in the deficit over the 10-year period. There's also no tax on tips or overtime, and nothing you've got that bonus for seniors, $6,000, so that removes tax from Social Security. And Mike, as you know, that's something I have worked on achieving for years. But President Trump has stood by the promises he's made. He has kept those promises. I'm so pleased that Congress stepped up, got the bill passed, and got it to him. And now it is time for us to move on with other components of his agenda, which are what the American people voted for in November.
Senator Marsha Blackburn of the great state of Tennessee, wonderful to have you today. Thank you so much.
Good to be with you. Thank you.